everybody here. Before we start, I would like to give a little technical information about our webinar. You can use the Q&A box below whenever you wish. All questions will be answered at the end of the webinar. I would like to present myself and our speakers shortly before giving the floor to them for their opening speeches and their presentations first. My name is Halise Atabay. I'm a qualified patent attorney before the Turkish Patent and Trademark Office since 2011, and I work as a patent agent in stock intellectual property services based in Istanbul for almost 12 years now. I am also the Secretary General of AIPPI Turkey since 2021 and a member of AIPPI since 2015, also one of the founding members of the Young AIPPI members. Our first speaker, Ms. Laura Collada, is the managing partner of the firm Dumont since 2008, with more than 30 years of experience in the IP field. Laura leads the most of the firm's large and complex cases. She is regularly invited to speak for Marx, PTMG, UIA, SCP, PICP, ABPI, and INTA, and is a renowned teacher at several law schools. Laura is a three-time recipient of the Best IP Lawyers in Latin America Awards of Euromoney's America's Women in Business Law. She also continues to design strategies for clients as well as litigating. Currently, she is the International Vice President of the AIPPI Mexican chapter. Also, she is the chair of the Geographical Indications Committee at the same organization. She is also a board member at Marx and participates in several committees in different organizations. Ms. Melis Abacıoğlu is the current Vice President of AIPPI Turkey. Melis Abacıoğlu is a partner of the Turkish firm Abacıoğlu IP Services, and her practice is dedicated to intellectual property. She is a registered attorney at law in Ankara Bar and a qualified trademark and patent attorney before the Turkish Patent and Trademark Office. She is both handling prosecution and litigation matters, and she is representing her local and international clients with a special focus on trademark, copyright, anti-counterfeiting, unfair competition, and plant breeders' rights. And our final speaker, Mr. Fernando Becerril, is a mechanical and electrical engineer specialized in electronics and digital systems. Mr. Becerril has been involved in the practice of IP since 1990, during which time he has had the opportunity to participate in a wide range of intellectual property. He has been practicing counseling, filing, and prosecution of patent work, focusing his practice particularly on telecommunications, business methods, and software for more than 30 years. He regularly participates in several seminaries, either as speaker or moderator with topics related to IP and information technologies. He has lectured in Mexico and abroad with conferences relating to intangible assets, importance of IP, artificial intelligence, and strategic value of IP in business development, among other wide variety of topics. He is now the Assistant Secretary General of AIPPI and member of the Mexican Association for the Protection of Intellectual Property, of which he was president for the period 2017 and 18, and the treasurer of the same from 2011 to 2016. AIPPI and Inter-Mexican delegates from 2011. He has actively participated as organizer of several national and international congresses. I hope you all enjoy the event. Laura, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Very much. Well, first of all, I would like to thank AIPPI and AIPPI Turkey for organizing this joint committee with the Mexican AIPP chapter, also called AMPI, and the goal is to try to entice and convince Mexican members to attend the Congress. The AIPPI Mexican group has hosted the annual Congress twice. We know how difficult it is to organize a Congress. The first time it was in 1972, and most recently in 2018. We have to remember that in the past decade, we have also attended Toronto and Rio de Janeiro. This has proven the importance of our region for AIPPI. I believe that we have a common ground and cultural similarities with Turkey, not only speaking business-wise, but also in everyday values. Besides that, Turkey is a beautiful country, and Istanbul was once the capital of the Ottoman Empire, as well as the capital of the Byzantine Empire. We have all heard the name Constantinople. We know how hard it is to organize a Congress. from loving it with AIPPI to choosing the venues, the hotels, the cultural events, getting the speakers, and everything else that comes with an important event, such an important event for AIPPI community. AIPPI aims for the improvement and harmonizations of IP laws through the resolution process in which all national groups are invited to participate. We are able to meet colleagues from all over the world and to stay ahead of IP law developments. AIPPI helps us to develop skills and gain knowledge and to build long-lasting business relationship as well as friendship. We see the Turkish group as a tight, hardworking group. We have seen them grow, how they grow and develop throughout the years. Mexico is the second largest group of Latin America. Brazil is the largest. But it is our goal with this seminar to present to our members how AIPPI works and the details of the Congress to convince more Mexicans to join our organization, meaning AIPPI, and to attend the Congress. Registration is still open and there is still time to plan your trip. As you may know, AIPPI is one of the oldest international legal organizations, and the resolutions, this meaning the product of the work of all of us, is sent to patent and trademark offices throughout the world in order to harmonize legislation. We believe that the point of view and the expertise of every single national group is important, not only by answering the study questions, but most importantly, the work that is done by attending the Congress and participating in those resolutions as well, and in all the academic events that are being done during the Congress. We all have the possibility to improve legal frameworks by being involved in AIPPI, or at least to suggest to our authorities how things should be done. We can be IP thought leaders. So we are inviting you to transform into an IP thought leader by joining AIPPI. Furthermore, this year, the event will be held in a beautiful country, which is full of history, in one of the most beautiful cities of the world, the only city that lies in two continents with a golden horn that can take you from the Bosphorus to the Sea of Marmara and then to the Black Sea. A city that historically has been the seat of great empires with great monuments, Roman, Ottoman, Muslim, the beacon of the Silk Road, with one of the oldest and largest markets in the world that make it the real melting pot, and today is a modern and vibrant city. It is the 8th most visited city of the world, and its historic center is an UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is the 90th economy in the world by nominal GDP and the 11th largest by PPP. So the goal of this webinar is to build a closer relationship with a Turkish group and its members, and to try to entice and convince more members of the Mexican group to attend the event and visit Turkey. It is the win-win deal. We will hear about the program and the venues which are interesting and will be a source of knowledge and skills development with a great advantage of an amazing city. And why not extend your trip a bit and try to see a bit more of Turkey, like Cappadocia or Pamukkale or Izmir or Bodrum. You choose. Please listen to what Fernando and Melis have to tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Laura. Welcome, everyone. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. My name is Melis Abacıoğlu. I'm the Vice President of AIPPI Turkey. Today, we have the privilege to organize this joint event with AIPPI Mexico regarding the benefits of becoming a member of AIPPI, and also talk a little bit about our upcoming World Congress. As you all know, this year we're gonna host you in Istanbul. Istanbul is Turkey's largest city, and it's the world's only city on 2 continents. The vibrant and modern city of Istanbul is the bridgeway between Europe and Asia. The Bosphorus divides the city into 2 continents. Istanbul means a rich history in a modern setting. It is one of the cities with the richest history in the world, as Laura already told you. Like the city faced the rise and fall of many empires throughout the history, the Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and later on the Republic of Turkey is established. So this is an eclectic place unlike anywhere else, where ancient meets modern. And Turkish group is now very much excited to welcome you in Istanbul and taste the city and Turkish culture together. I would like to thank you to AIPPI Mexico for sharing our excitement for the upcoming World Congress, bringing up this idea and teaming up with us for this joint event. It's our pleasure to be here with you today. And also special thanks to AIPPI International to support us in the organization of this joint event. Now, Fernando, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Melis, and I would like to thank you, AIPPI, AIPPI Turkey, AMPI, the Mexican group of AIPPI, Halis, Melis, Laura. Thanks for this opportunity. I have seen some names in the attendees, and it's very exciting to have good friends from both countries in this webinar. And now it's the opportunity for me as Assistant Secretary General of AIPPI to share a little bit more about what AIPPI is. So I'm going to share with you this presentation that we will go very fast because I don't have a lot of time. We will through AIPPI, what is it and which is the value of being part of AIPPI. Well, as I mentioned, I am Fernando Becerril. I am a Secretary General of AIPPI and Past President of the Mexican group of AIPPI, AMPI. It is a real pleasure for me to host the information of AIPPI on behalf of the Bureau of our organization. I will try to introduce you to our association and will then give you some pointers and navigation if you plan to attend the Congress, or if not, I think you will find interesting all this information. First, what does AIPPI stand for? Well, it's the acronym for the French language version of the name International Association for the Protection of Intellectual Property. AIPPI's mission is the worldwide harmonization of intellectual property laws. That's the goal. Annually, we host a Congress that we are going to talk about a little bit further. We host a Congress, and that's the moment in the year when members from all over the world come together to discuss hot topics on IP and contribute to a harmonized view on what the law should be, while having plenty of networking opportunities, social events, and as Laura and Melly said, to have the opportunity to discover different cities and places. Now let's talk a little bit about AIPPI. AIPPI has a very interesting global reach. AIPPI was created in 1897, shortly before the signature of the Paris Convention in 1883. And we are now 126 years. AIPPI is the world's largest organization or association dedicated to all kinds of IP. It is the only association without any geographical or professional restriction. AIPPI has a balanced approach to the interests of IP stakeholders. Diversity is very valued and encouraged in our association. It has a truly global reach. We are actually 8,037 members, a little bit over 8,000, 67 groups, 65 national groups, 2 regional groups, and 125 independent members. How are we structured? Well, the Bureau, AIPPI is composed in different bodies, which have a particular role in the association. And I would go first with the General Secretariat. The General Secretariat is responsible for the administrative management of AIPPI, as well as the organization of congresses and events. Judith Wheeler, that you can see on top of this image, is our executive director, and she manages the General Secretariat with the permanent staff. AIPPI has offices in Zurich, in Switzerland. You, on the left, you probably all know Cynthia, who is the director of events. As a whole team, the GS, the General Secretariat that we know as GS, supports AIPPA to make not only the association runs smoothly, but also the Congress happen over the years. They are really well experienced on how to run a Congress. Our General Secretariat has a central role also in a day-to-day function of AIPPI. They are always taking care of all requests of members and national groups, and I'm pretty sure that everybody has had a leadership role in any national group, have dealt with any of the members of General Secretariat, and the response is always extraordinary. We would like to thank you, the General Secretariat, for their day-to-day work. Now, how about members and national groups? The members are individuals interested in IP protection. Anyone who has an interest, an IP interest, can become a member. Members in our association are lawyers, are engineers, are litigators, are scientists, are trademark agents, are in-house counsels, are judges, are professors. Diversity, as I mentioned, it's a goal for our association. For being a member, it's just necessary to join a national or a regional group from the country where you reside and practice. If there is no group in that country, well, there is the possibility first to become an independent member or to organize and create a new national group. For example, there are independent members from Hong Kong, from Cyprus, from Slovakia, from Iran, from Venezuela. There is an option that it's called join and register. So you can attend the Congress and register there and then become a member. After that, there will be a contact with the national group if there exists. And if not, you can become, as I mentioned, you as an independent member. The Council of Presidents is composed by presidents of all the groups. There are typically very well experienced members on AIPPI who meet and discuss ways to improve the association. And not only the association, but also the practice. The Council of Presidents meets at least once a year, and it regularly happens during the Congress. There are also many ways to get really involved in pursuing the AIPPI mission, while carrying out networking with individuals with common interests. It's easy to get involved in any of these kind of committees. There are, let's say, 4 different kind of committees. Now let's talk a little bit about them. There is a statutory committee. There are statutory committees that they are more concerned in the administration of the association. There are actually 6 different statutory committees that are program, finance, nominations, membership, communication, and Congress venue selection. There are Bureau advisory committees. Actually, we have 3 different Bureau advisory committees, and they help the Bureau to find out how to deal with some particular issues. The 3 actual Bureau advisory committees are Young Members Committees, and diversity and inclusion, which is the most recent committee. Not forget to mention that we have an in-house committee, advisory committee. Over the last century, I would say, AIPPI objective has been to seek an harmonization in IP laws and to provide a more consistent, predictable, and uniform legal environment, specifically international businesses. And therefore, the study committees are created every year to manage the study question process and bring a topic, well, I would say, under study to its conclusion as an harmonization resolution. This resolution, as Laura was mentioning some minutes ago, play a critical role to reach out the world IP ecosystem, making AIPPI's position stronger in this sector. The substantive resolution being arrived at are distributed and advocated to IP offices and governments around the world. The scientific work of AIPPI is very, very valuable, and it is shared and spread all over the world. The standing committees, which is the four kind of committees we have, guarantee the AIPP that AIPPI is promptly informed about current developments in specific fields and monitors the long-range projects of international legal development. There are actually 25 different standing committees concerning to a particular IP area. For example, patents, trademarks, copyright, design, or GIs. Or in particular, a relevant IP topic like green technology or commercialization of AIPPI. Or how about emerging areas, a new development and relevant for IP, for example, FTAs and the Unified European Patent System that has been very active in the last months. Any member may become as an observer on a standing committee prior to determine if they wish to really become part and as an official member. We have in AIPPI a rule that we know as 2 + 1 + 1, which means that we can have 2 regular members, 1 in-house member, and 1 young member. I mean, up to 4 national members in 1 single standing committee. That's a great opportunity to participate, to get involved, and to raise your voice and your opinion in the discussions that take day to day within the standing committees. Sorry. Well, now I'm going fast with the structure of AIPPI. The bureau is the board of directors of AIPPI, and it directs the activities of AIPPI and represents AIPPI in very, very different activities. It includes basically 4 different teams. The presidency team, the treasurer's team, the secretary general team, and the reporter general team. I would go first with the president team. The presidency chairs the association and the bureau. Shoichi Okuyama from Japan is the actual president, and Lorenza Ferrari-Hofer from Switzerland and Maria Scunjo from the United States are the vice presidents. Now, talking about the 3 different groups, the treasurer general, TG, as we know him, is officially in charge of the financial resources of the association. Stéphane Palais from France is actually the treasurer general. The secretary general team refers as SGT. You can hear about SGT in many different places. Is responsible for the administration of the association, and the reporter general team organizes the substantive work of the association, and more particularly the study questions that Laura was mentioning, and hold the process, not only for the study questions, but also for the scientific work that is handled within the Congress on many other different events that the AIPPI hosts during the year. There exists an executive committee, which is the decision-making body of AIPPI. It includes delegates from all the groups. The number of delegates is proportional to the number of members of the group. And well, actually, the EXCO is currently of 371 delegates. Members of honor are also members of the EXCO. And the General Assembly is composed of all members of the association. And it's the only body that can power up to adopt an amendment to the statutes and to decide eventually on the dissolution of the association. Now, let's talk about the value, the added value that the AIPPI can offer to you. I know that in the participants, there are a lot of people that are already members of AIPPI, but also there are people that are not members, and that would be a good opportunity for you to learn which is the added value that AIPPI offers to you. Of course, the annual Congress. Melis will talk about the annual Congress, so I will not stop more with this. But let's say that it's probably the most visible activity of AIPPI. It's a very interesting opportunity, and you need to be there to really have the feeling of what an annual Congress of APPI means. Of course, you have the chance to be part of harmonization and forging new laws. Every year, 4 questions are launched on relevant topics of IP. And after a very heavy work, the Reporter General team selects 4 different questions from the proposals of all the national groups. All the results of the discussions of these questions produces resolutions that are, as I mentioned you some minutes ago, that are spread all over the world through national or regional groups to different authorities in our world. This is the process of evolution of a resolution. I'm not going to stop here, but it's a long process. It takes almost 24 months from the first email we sent, open the floor and requesting for proposals of study questions until the resolution is adopted in the Congress. It's a very interesting opportunity to discuss, to participate, to express your opinion, and it's very interesting to be part of these study questions groups, and not only in the international point of view, but also in the national point of view. Additionally, it offers professional development. An important component in all activities of APPI is the professional development opportunities. The standing committees and the program committee really work hard, but every year to identify, as I mentioned, you some interesting topics, no? And not only of learning about the topics, but there is also a great opportunity to have the chance to be speaker, either in national groups, webinars, in-process events, mid-year meetings, the World Congress. It is a challenge, but it's a great opportunity. And particularly for young members, we have now a young member forum that is annually or biannually held online. Of course, network opportunities and business development is also a great opportunity that the APPI offers. And being in any of the different kind of events that the APPI offers to the membership brings you the opportunity to meet people, to know their practice, and of course, to make a very good network, a professional network. And finally, friendship. For those who have been attending APPI for quite a long time, I would say that if you talk to any of these old wolves, I would say, of APPI, you will find out that we all have really good friends from all over the world for many, many, many years. It is very interesting. You develop really good friends in APPI, and it's also one of the great benefits of being part of this. And now, finally, how to get involved? Well, if you're interested in, contact a national group or a general group. In our case, Mexico and Turkey have national groups, so contact the national group, participate in local events, hopefully get nominated for a leadership in your group, actively participate in the preparation of response of a study question. Now, why not? To raise your hand to be the representative of the study question in the APPI, get nominated for being an active APPI statutory or standing committees. The national groups propose members to be part of this kind of committees, and within the time to show interest in be part of the bureau. So this is a quick overview. Sorry, I intend to do it faster, but it's not possible. It's a lot of information, and I just want to thank you for being here with us and to share these minutes with me talking about the APPI. And I would like to leave the floor to Melis, who is probably the most attractive part of this webinar, and she's going to explain us about the upcoming Congress in Istanbul, which AIPPI and the Turkish group has been really working hard to bring to you an interesting program, not only from the academic, but also the social point of view. So, Melis, the floor is yours, and thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you so much, Fernando. It was a very comprehensive and attractive presentation, a brief summary of all AIPPI activities. Thank you so much for that. And I would like to give some brief details about the World Congress and its content. The AIPPI World Congress in Istanbul will be held between the days 22nd and 25th of October. The Congress venue will be the Hilton Istanbul Bomonti Hotel and Conference Center. We will have everything there. And this hotel for the Congress is in the heart of Istanbul's commercial areas, and it's on purpose chosen as it's also close to the historical sites. Here you can see the registration deadlines, and the regular registration deadline will end soon on 12th of September. So if you haven't done it yet, don't forget to complete your registration to benefit from the regular registration rates. We can move to next slide. We can summarize the 5 top reasons to participate the World Congress as first, attending the educational program on hot IP topics. As Fernando also emphasized, in the World Congresses, there's a really comprehensive content, scientific content and educational program, which the participants will benefit from. And taking part in adopting the AIPPI resolutions, networking with IP friends and colleagues from all around the world, and speaking about Istanbul, experiencing the city where Europe meets Asia and ancient meets modern, and enjoying multiple social events at exclusive venues. We can summarize it as follows. We can move to next slide. This is the program at a glance, and this is already there in the World Congress website. And as usual, in the next slide, we will see that the major achievement, Harise, we can move the slide. Thank you. As usual, the major achievement of the World Congress will be the process of adopting the resolutions. And this year, we're going to adopt the resolutions on the following topics. The patent study question is about doctrine of equivalence. The trademark question is dedicated to proving trademark use. The general study question is dedicated to responsibility of online marketplaces for online infringement. And I think this is a very appealing topic. This will be an appealing topic in this year's Congress. And we also have the collecting societies. In addition to the study questions, there are more than 20 panel sessions. 20 panel sessions will be offered within the educational program. The topics of the panel sessions are carefully chosen to cover the major IP hot topics in all areas of IP, such as metaverse, NFTs, pharma sessions, and so on. And also 3 networking lunch sessions will also take place in interesting topics. And a UPC mock trial will be organized with the participation of EU judges. Also, a large number of AIPPI cafes will be held within the scope of the scientific program. And when we come to the social events venues, we hope that you will like them. The social events will start with Council of Presidents dinner. It's an invitation-only event, and it will take place in a very famous palace, which is the only Ottoman imperial palace and hotel on the Bosphorus, and it's with a stunning view. The opening ceremony and welcome reception will be in the conference center. And we have chosen a very historical place for the cultural evening. Its name is Binbirdirek. This is the 2nd largest water reservoir in Istanbul, and it will give a magical atmosphere to the participants. Young AIPPI Forum will be in an iconic venue. Its name is Babylon, and it's located just a stone's throw away from the conference center. It's very close walking distance. For women in AIPPI, there will be a boat tour for the ladies, and there will be other surprises, such as the opportunity to take belly dancing lessons. And we are waiting for all the ladies to attend to this amazing event. And after Women in AIPPI, the closing dinner will take place in the hotel, and there will be an Ottoman-themed gala, and the attendees will be tasting delicious Turkish food, which can be appealing for the participants as well. And here the dress code will be black tie, or you can also optionally bring your own culture to the event. For the after party of the closing dinner, we are again moving to Babylon, which is close to the hotel, and putting our dancing shoes on. And the registration fees, as I emphasize, the regular registration will finish soon. So if you haven't registered yet, please don't forget to complete your registration until 12th of September. And Turkish Airlines is also among the sponsors of the World Congress. It's giving a special discounts to all of the attendees. And the good thing is that, the good news is that there's a direct flight from Mexico to Istanbul, and Turkish Airlines is providing a very convenient flight. So discount link is also available on the Congress website. And you can also reach the sponsorship opportunities through the website of the World Congress. And we are very excited to seeing you soon in Istanbul. And you can put your questions, any other queries to the Q&A, so we can move to the Q&A of our webinar.
Thank you, Melis, Laura, and Fernando, for your warm and informative presentations. Yes, now we can pass on to Q&A session. And there's the first question that if there will be, or maybe, a tour to Cappadocia between October 26 and 28. I can also reply, but I think Laura wants to share her answer.
I think that it was made by one of our colleagues, Rafa. Rafa, if you go to the registration website, you will see that there are not only trips to Cappadocia, but there are also trips to some other very interesting places in Turkey. And please take the advantage. Turkey is a beautiful country. It's going to be my 6th time in Turkey, and I love the country. So many things to see. And I think it's a great addition to a magnificent program that they have organized with beautiful venues. So that would be the question. As you can see, our group is right now thinking more about the vacation afterwards, the Congress, but we're like that. You will see that we're a loud group, okay? But that's the question. You can see all the information on the website. It will answer all your questions related to the Congress, and as well as the touristic part, to say in a way. The AIPPI has also organized some trips to Pamukkale, to Izmir, I think, and Cappadocia. Those are the ones that I remember. And also, as Meli said, we have a direct flight to Turkey. I have already flown on that flight, and it's very convenient. It's so easy. We board in Mexico City Airport, and we arrive to Istanbul. That it's a beautiful airport. It's one of the most modern airports in the world.
You know, Laura is your Minister of Tourism.
Laura, we are moving you from AIPPI Mexico to AIPPI Turkey, please.
No, but let me tell you, I think that every single time of every single Congress, they take us to beautiful cities. And it's also something that I really appreciate because as Fernando was saying, and we know it, I know Melis and we have had fun in other Congresses. You build very strong friendships, okay? And I think that the cornerstone of this trait, to say it in a way, is trust, okay? So you meet people, you start trusting them, and you build a network. And it's a perk if you have these beautiful cities indeed they have taken us. Just remember how happy people were in Cancun, okay? When we brought people from all over the world to Cancun, it was really nice. And so I think that AFPPI always nails it. It's so hard to nail a city to obtain taking the Congress to our jurisdictions. And I think that besides that, it's a great Congress. The topics are very, very good. And I really love all the logistics of the processes of the resolutions and whatever that I really want our colleagues here in Mexico to experience because the AFPPA is like no other organization. No, you're able to learn, you're able to develop a lot of skills. And besides that, being held in such a beautiful country, I think that we want to, as I said, convince more members of the Mexican group to attend the Congress. And I think that if we will be able to nail it with this joint webinar. I don't know what you have to say, Fernando. Help me here.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I agree with you. And the idea is not only to go to Congress, which is for sure the highlight of AIPPA year by year, but also to become member of AIPPA. We have some practitioners here in Mexico that have not yet decided to be part of AIPPA, and it's a very interesting organization, as Laura mentioned. It is from my point of view, and not only because now I'm actually part of the bureau, but I have said this for many time, for a long time. It's probably the most balanced organization in IP related topics. You have, of course, the chance to network. You have the chance to run in the mornings. We're having the running in the mornings. You have to go to very nice cities to meet with people of common interests, but also to participate in academic work. No, not only during the Congress, but the whole year. You work in the national groups, responding, study questions, analyzing, discussing. It's a very, I would say, integral organization where you can find a space for any one of you based on your particular and specific interests. So I not only to go to the Congress, but also to join the AIPPA for those who haven't yet become part of AIPPA.
Thank you for your kind words. And we make a real effort to ensure that participants can really experience the Turkish culture, food, and atmosphere in the best possible way here. So I also copied the event page for the tours and excursions on the chat box. So you can always check the website for the updated information about everything. Any other questions or comments?
And you can always reach us if you need any help, if you have any questions, both about AIPPI and the World Congress or Istanbul, the city. We are always here to respond to your questions. And Halise also put our official email address to the chat. And we are here for you. We were so happy when we came to Mexico and just Rest assured that our cultures are so similar. We loved your food and you will like our food. And I don't know, we felt so happy in Mexico, and I think you will feel the same in Istanbul. So we are very excited to see you all here.
Melis, I would like to say something for the Mexican members that it's important, and I think that we just received another question. But we require a waiver for Turkey, okay? And I just did it last week. It takes 15 minutes and we don't have to make a payment. It's so easy. It's not a visa, it's a waiver, and it takes really, it's very well organized. You go into the page, you put the names of your parents, your name and the number of your passport, and that's it. And you will receive the answer in 15 minutes. That's a requirement to enter Turkey for Mexicans, but it's very easy and it only takes 15 minutes. So as you can see, everything right now is like, go to Turkey, go to AAPPI, okay? So we have another question, I think.
Yes, we do have another question from an anonymous attendant, and the question is, how can new members become part of a committee? Well, new members, if you are part of APPI, there's nothing else than go and register as an observer in a committee, and that's it. Just to have the feeling of how the committee works and what are they doing. And after that, the national group will send a proposal to AIPPI, to the bureau, particularly to the reporter general team, to include you as a formal committee member. And that's it. There's no major issue. It's pretty easy. You can go as an observer to any committee you would like to go. Of course, you have voice, but not vote. And being a formal member of the committee, then you have also vote. But it's quite easy. The streamline is very, very lean. So if you're interested in, just go to the meeting during the Congress. And after that, you feel that's the place that you would like to be and to work and to participate and discuss. Then ask for your national group to propose you as part of the committee, and that's it. As I mentioned, we do have a rule of 2 + 1 + 1. There are 2 regular members plus 1 in-house member plus 1 young member, which is 36 and under. So you can have 4 representatives in each standing committee.
Thank you, Fernando. Laura, there are some requests for you. As being the tour
Yeah, I
guide.
don't think so. No, I think that they are only
About
Yes,
being a
Laura.
tour guide.
yes, I will. I promise I will. I've been 5 times to Istanbul, so yes. I really love the city, but I think that Melis can take you. But any recommendations as a Mexican that you want, please contact me. Okay, but it's a beautiful city, and there's so much to see that you will fall in love with Istanbul, and you will return. It's that amazing. So yes, Israel, I'll be your tourist guide. Don't worry. Okay. And I think that were the only questions. No.
Yeah.
Maybe I can comment on the transportation. Maybe the participants may have some questions or some worries about transportation. Yes, this is a crowded city, but since many events of the Congress will be held at the hotel, it will be very comfortable not to waste time in traffic. For social events, transportation will be provided by shuttles departing from the hotel. And therefore, the participants will not have to worry about transportation. And Uber is available in Istanbul, but due to recent population growth, it may be a little harder to find it than before. However, if you leave at a cautious time for transportation, you will not have any problems in the city.
Okay, Rafael Beltran is asking which is the local currency.
Lira.
Turkish lira. And I think the currency is close to pesos. I didn't check the just current exchange, but I think when we came to Mexico, it was in a similar line. So I think it will be like the Mexican peso. Do you have any idea, Halise?
I
Any
have
comments on it?
current rates actually, but I will now. By the way, there is another question.
From Victor Garrido.
I
And Victor asks this, he says, it would be interesting to know how the presenters became involved in APPA and that they share some of their experience in attending the World Congress. So it's interesting, this question, how each of us got involved in APPI. Who would like to start?
You, Fernando.
Okay, myself? Well,
Yes.
I got involved in APPI quite a long time ago as a member. I had the opportunity to be part of these study questions groups in Mexico. I led a couple of them some years ago. On a parallel side, I was at the Mexican group in AMPI, and I became president in 1917. So this gave me the opportunity to become part of the Council of Presidents of AIPPI. So when I went to AIPPI congresses, not only to attend the Secretaries and Secretaries and Treasurers meeting or the Qs sessions, but also had the opportunity to be part of the Council of Presidents. On that period, we hosted AIPPI Cancun. So I had the real honor to be the hosting president of the Congress, which was a real challenge, by the way. We worked hard, and that's why we understand you, Melis and Alice, on what this represents to be part of the committee from your country. And that opportunity gave me the chance to become part of the world of AIPPI. We had a very proactive group here in Mexico working in the Congress. And well, I had the chance, I had the opportunity, and now that's why I'm part of the Bureau of AIPPI. It is a real, very interesting place, as I mentioned. It's not because I'm just part of the Bureau. I always said that the AIPPI is, for me, my preferred organization by far. I love to be part of AIPPI. I love to work for AIPPI. I really enjoy being part of AIPPI. So that's in very few minutes how I got involved in AIPPI.
Melis, how you got involved?
I can continue. I joined AIPPI in 2009 when I was a junior, and when AIPPI Turkey was very newly established. And my firm just registered me, and then I became part of the study questions. And as far as I was a junior at that time, it was like an IP school for me. We were like forming groups and studying on the questions, and we were like getting friends with the other colleagues from the other firms and in the IP ecosystem. And it was like a school at the very beginning. And I traveled to my first World Congress in 2015. It was in Rio de Janeiro. After working in national group for 6 years, and I was amazed in that World Congress, and I tried to realize what we were doing while working on the questions. Like I realized that we were shaping IP there, like harmonizing, and everyone is putting comments on that, and I don't know, that international platform gave me the excitement, and I decided on becoming more active in AIPPI. And then in 2016, I became the Secretary General of AIPPI Turkey. and worked in that position for like 6 years. And then I became I started my international activity. Meanwhile, I attended to standing committees, and then I took part in the statutory committee, in the membership committee. And 3 years ago, I was elected as the vice president. So I think it was like 3 to 4 years I'm serving in this position now. And I can say that AIPPI is a very big part of my life. It became a lifestyle in our IP ecosystem, and it's both an IP school and you can build many good social relations. You learn many things. You met a lot of people, both locally, internationally. And as Fernando said, it's my favorite association as well.
Nice. Well,
I think it's your turn, Laura.
well, I think it was my first one was in 2005. You all know that I work in a firm that it's very patent oriented. So for our firm, since in its foundation, AIPP had been very, very important. Obviously, I did not live that because I was very young and I was not part of Dumont. But when AIPPI was organized in 1972 here in Mexico, even there were parties in the founder's partner's house, Mr. Felix Dumont. So for Dumont was very important that all the lawyers that we were there attend AIPPI. So my first, I think it was 2004, 2005. And at the very beginning, it was very tough for me because I have attended different other different conferences. And what I realized is that I didn't know anything about AIPPI, like the processes of the queues and how you work and how you get involved. So it took me time, like a couple of years, to understand how it worked because I really wanted to get involved. Not only because of the knowledge, but because it pretty much everyone is pretty much into their topics, no? Like the patent people work on the patent and design areas, and the trademark guys go to the trademark tracks and so on. So I started, I get involved in committees. I've been forever in the geographical geographical syndication committee, which I am the chair today of the committee, and that has been a standing question for many, many years. And it took me many years to become a chair, but I was a co-chair for many, many years. So it has been quite a long time. And I really appreciate how much knowledge I have acquired through AIPPI in their different tracks. I love the work that we do here in Mexico when we answer the queues, because we try to organize it by teams and so on. And it's really nice to discuss with your colleagues what they think about our legislation and how to harmonize it. And then I think, and I really want our colleagues here in Mexico to have the experience of being through the processes of the resolutions and so on. Not only the panels are really interesting and they always have very hot topics, but to see how every single national group makes politics about AIPPI and what is best and what works in their countries and what doesn't work. It's really a great experience. So, and I think that that's on the academic point of view. And on the personal point of view, I have very good friends that have been made through AIPPI. And also, as Fernando said, when the Congress that I do experience, and I was part of the organizing committee, Fernando invited me to be part of the organizing committee. I was very proud of my country and our group in Cancun, and the friendships that we have developed worldwide, because there are so many people from so many countries that we're so happy here in Mexico. So for me, it's also one of my preferred conferences, AIPPI. I think that it gives you skills that probably not any organization gives you.
Yep.
And you're the last one.
Yes, my turn. And I think my story is very similar to Melis. In 2015, I became a member of AIPPI by the company I currently work for, and began to park in study questions. And later on, I joined the organizing committee of AIPPI Turkey to organize an international event. Fernando had a slideshow from that event too. Sertaç Göksal'dı event. And I attended the Congress in London in 2019 before the pandemic, and was impressed by this big family, and the friendship we established here enabled me to establish closer bond with the association actually. And in 2021, I became the General Secretary of AIPPI Turkey, and I joined the Young AIPPI Members Committee, which was one of the newly established statutory committees. And as Melis said, AIPPI is like a school for a young person like me. Here you meet and become friends with very valuable and hardworking people, and you can do good things together. So this is really, truly satisfying for me. And now our journey goes on.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing, Melis.
There are only thank you comments, and thank you, Alma and Alejandro, and all the Mexican colleagues. Israel, thank you very much. But I think that there are no more questions, and probably it's time to wrap up. Melis, say our final words.
Laura, Fernando, thank you so much for this joint event. It's probably the first one between two continents organizing an event together. And we hope it's not going to be the last. And we are waiting here for you. And thank you so much. It was a pleasure for us as AIPPI Turkey to be here with you today.
That was Meli in the name of the Mexican AIPPI chapter, AMPI. Thank you very much for all the effort that you put together. Thank you, Fernando, that even though you're Mexican, you're part of the bureau, and we have all the support also from AIPPI. We hope that from the audience, there are people that we can convince. And just also an housekeeping announcement. This webinar has been recorded, and we will send the link for other members to watch it if they could not join early this morning. Thank you very much. Fernando.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you very much to everyone.
And see you in Istanbul.
Thank you so much.
See you
next month in Istanbul.
43 days or something like that?
Yes, 43.
Yeah.
We're counting the days. Yes.
Counting down.
Counting down, right.
See you very soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.